Paul, we got another showcase to do. You excited?
George, I'm so fired up. I love tools. I love seeing the innovation that is happening in the industry, and it's fun to get together and talk about them.
Well, and being in the position we're in, where we get to talk about them amongst ourselves, but then also share that with people. You ready to look at one?
Let's do it.
Here we go. I would say for both you and I, you just got done with a big cabinet job in your shop. Paul is redoing his kitchen. And if you're going to work with sheet goods, you need a way to get large sheets down to smaller sizes.
Absolutely.
And the Bora system, one of the things I like about this is the way the components play nice together. So with one style of mount, we can easily take the saw off of here, put it in here. So in this component, the clamp is going onto our sheet goods so that we can do a cross cut. They do also have a clamp that's long enough to do the 8-foot direction. I would use this to rough the sheet down. And then on this one, you did a great, you made a great analogy when we were first talking about this, which was this is your table saw substitute.
Yep, absolutely.
When we've got the saw mounted here, it's as though you've got a rip fence. You can do repeated cuts to all the same size. And let's look at this whole process and how these two play nice together. If you're doing woodworking, there's a great likelihood that you're going to use sheet stock in your projects. And one of the things you end up against is big 4x8 sheets, which are hugely convenient to cut parts out of, except that you got to cut parts out of them. So let's look at the Bora setup here as a way to rough your sheets down and then also accurately cut parts out of those roughed out pieces. So first thing I'm going to do here, sequence I always follow, is to rough cut my sheet. And I'm going to do that using this track and aligning it to my pencil lines. Now a cool aspect of this is that I can drop my saw into this plate, align it, and lock it in. So there's a huge convenience factor there. Makes it very easy to put the saw in, out, and the plate works with a huge variety of different circ saws. Next, I'm going to set my depth of cut. And once we're ready to go, this is of course engaged in the track. So all I have to do is feed across the sheet. Now, think about what's going on here. What we've done is roughed out a piece that's a little bit bigger than the final parts you're going to need for your project. Now, and that was based on me measuring off the end of the sheet. Now we want to dial things in a little bit more finitely. So I'm going to pop my saw out of that plate. And we're going to switch devices here. And with this guide, one of the things that's cool about it is there's a scale on here. And the scale is relative to the fence on the end. So when I'm ready to use this and I have my saw mounted, I can dial this back and forth, watch the cursor, set that for the width I'm trying to hit, lock it in place, and I'm going to be ready to accurately cut without having to do any layout, without having to do any measuring. I can simply run the fence against the edge of the piece. So setup is going to be very similar here. Get in the plate. Lock it in, easy peasy. dial in my dimension. And now it's very similar to having a rip fence on your table saw, except the rip fence is on the guide. So if we allow this to track along the edge of the sheet, like this, we'll be able to make as many cuts as you need parallel to that edge. So it's easy to see with this system, rough cutting the sheet down to size, then using the rip guide in order to set finite dimensions and cut part after part after part to exactly the size you need for your project. This is a system you can use to handle plywood in your shop and make it easy to get accurate size pieces out of it.
You know, one of the two things that I really love about this is it addresses the constraints that a lot of woodworkers have when they first get started: space and budget. So from a budget perspective, this uses a large number of different circular saw options, which most people have as they get started. And the other is space. This thing packs down to practically nothing when you're done woodworking at the end of the day, so you can really get started, good capacity with minimal space and budget.
And we know so many woodworkers are getting started, their first shop is their garage. Maybe their forever shop is their garage.
Yep.
And if you're sharing that space with 8 bicycles, a car, and a motorcycle,
I caught that.
yeah, then yeah, being able to pack it away when you're done is really, really important. Great way to get started.
Absolutely is.
Another showcase in the can, Paul. Did you have fun?
I had fun. I've got a lot of good ideas to take back to my shop.
Cool. And that's part of this, is getting those ideas out in front of people so that they can maybe take them back to their shop too.
Take them back to their shop and go shopping.
That's right. Because you can never have enough tools. Thanks so much for watching.